Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Lissa Grace, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys something that I've been thinking a lot about recently, which is 3 different ways that you can find creative rest. So I'm out here right now. This is Lake DeGray, and the season is about to change, so it's in the middle. So the leaves are starting to change color, leaves are falling, it's beginning to be fall, and the weather is the most perfect weather it could be. It's like 70 degrees, breezy, so beautiful. So I am so excited to get into today's video and share with you guys what I've learned. So the first way I've found creative rest is actually related to why I am outside today. And maybe you've guessed it by now, but the first way I find creative rest is by getting out in nature. If you're new to my channel, one thing I love to do is I love to go out and paint in plein air. I love to go outside and just paint a scene live and just kind of take in everything that the nature is telling me, all of the information, the lighting, the colors, all of that. But I also just love nature, and I've found that whenever I get outside, like the amount of inspiration that comes is so incredible. Like the peace in nature, like the sounds, the colors you see, like as creative people, getting outside and seeing nature and seeing like how beautiful things are outside is just such a refreshing thing for creative people who sometimes can be just continually making and making and making, and then it gets hard whenever you've made so much to not get burnt out and lose your ability to make more things because you're like, I don't know what else I can make. So my first way that I've learned to find creative rest, and if I'm feeling burnt out or tired or overwhelmed creatively, getting outside is such a great way to do that. Before I share the second reason with you guys, I just wanted to share a little bit about kind of what I've been experiencing recently. So I recently was able to move to college. I'm beginning my freshman year as an art student, and college life has been really busy, and that's been pretty surprising for me. Like, I've been busier than I have before, and so finding rest has been so vitally important and so important to me. So it's been a big priority, finding rest in this time of chaos and busyness. So especially creative rest, whenever as an art student I have so many projects and that I need to keep making and making for, I really don't want to get burnt out because I love making stuff so much. So I have been thinking a lot about where I find rest, how I find that, and how I can prioritize it. And that's really why I wanted to share that with you guys today, because it's become so important for me and so helpful for me. So I hope these little tips help you guys. So the second thing I've found super helpful in terms of finding creative rest is whenever you're doing something the same way all the time, switching it up. So as I paint and draw for all my classes and do all of these things, I decided to take my camera out and take some pictures. So let me break this down for you just a little bit. So you might think oh, well, that's still creating, and I'm pretty tired of that right now. So how is that actually helpful? Well, whenever you decide to switch things up and try to pursue creativity in a little bit of a different way, for me, what I've found is that it really sparks my creative spirit again, and I'm like, oh, I love this, and I'm just reminded of how much I love to create, even whenever I feel so worn out sometimes. So taking a minute and trying some other form of media and see if that helps you find some more creative spirit in you and just helps you find some rest. So the third and final way I have learned to find creative rest is simply by remembering. Remembering times whenever you were very inspired or you were creating something that you love is pretty powerful. So for those of you who don't know, I was able to go on a senior trip where I went on a road trip with my family from Texas to New York and got to paint in plein air all the way. That was an incredible trip, something I will remember for my entire life. But as I've been here at school, learning to take those experiences I had and remember them and like think about them has been so incredibly impactful for my creative spirit and like for my creative well-being. Whenever I think about times like whenever I was in the Catskill Mountains painting the Hudson River at Olana, that was an incredible experience. And I was so full of joy and full of wonder, and I was just beholding the beauty around me. And whenever I pause to like think about that, when I pause to think about times whenever I was truly just like at peace and like at my best, like those times inspire me and remind me of where I have been and where I can be. So whenever I'm just endlessly creating and creating and creating and like producing things, like remembering like what I want to be, what my goal is, and like who I am as an artist, helps me so much. And just by like remembering times where I felt like that, like remembering times where I was that person fully, it's so powerful and changes the entire like mental, my entire mental state, and like shifts it towards rest. And whenever I start to remember like who I am, who I want to be, and like that I'm still that person, even though I'm tired and even though what I'm creating maybe isn't my favorite, like remembering that gives me this sense of like peace and like, okay, I can rest in doing this. And it just gives me this refresh of like, okay, like I'm ready to be that artist again, and I'm okay with where I am. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, those are the 3 things that I have found so incredibly important and helpful in terms of just not getting burnt out and finding creative rest in this season of like so much creating and so much busyness. And I have finally reached the water, so let's go see what it looks like. Wow, this is so pretty. Look how beautiful. This is gorgeous. Now that I'm standing here in such a beautiful, peaceful place, I have a bonus tip for you guys. So, number 4, and that is, don't forget to live with a sense of wonder and adventure in your life. I have not been here to this lake whenever it was alive. I've only been here in winter, and I had no idea how beautiful this would be. And I feel so creatively recharged just by like the adventure of finding this place and seeing how beautiful it is. Like, just look with me for a minute. There's fish in this clear water, and the wind is blowing in this tall grass. The water is so still, and there's a crystal clear reflection. Just a few weeks ago, I started a sketchbook, and I, for the first page, wanted to kind of think about a word that would be a word over my season, and the word was wonder. And I've just been thinking a lot about that, like even on this little walk I went on just now, and thinking about this bonus tip I'm giving you guys. Wonder is just this mindset where everything becomes not tiring but interesting, not ordinary but beautiful, not average but extraordinary. Like whenever you have a sense of wonder, your life just comes alive. And I'm just like in awe of this beauty I'm seeing right now. And I'm just so thankful that I have the opportunity to share these tips with you guys. So for a little recap, my 4 little helpful hints, 4th one's a bonus point, but firstly, get outside, get in nature. Second, try switching up your media. It might actually help you have a little bit of a refresh. Third, remember the times whenever you felt like the artist you want to be, and remember that you're still that person. And fourth, don't forget to have a sense of wonder. Try to prioritize a sense of wonder in your life. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you or just hear how they were helpful for you. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!